Hello out there everybody, Manny here at Area 503, and I hope you all have been well since our last video. Today I got some fascinating science and technology news and an interesting update on the jetpack that was sighted over LAX a few months back that had everybody scratching their heads. First, let's talk about this Nature article interviewing Peter Shor, who played a pivotal role in the development of modern quantum computers. In this article, they ask several questions that I found intriguing. First, they asked about his role in making quantum computers feasible for everyday tasks. It turns out that Peter's algorithm was instrumental in allowing quantum computers to function more like modern computers, which are capable of handling a wide variety of different forms of tasks. So this opened the door for modern quantum computing, because before that you had to program a quantum computer to solve a specific equation, much in the way that you had to program an old ENIAC computer using punch cards. It took a long time to develop an operating system and a hardware architecture that could support multiple different kinds of tasks. And that's really what Peter's algorithm allows quantum computers to do. And that is why Peter was instrumental in the development of modern quantum computing. Now let's skip ahead almost 25 years to 2019. Things have changed quite a bit since back then. In fact, Google just announced that its 54-qubit quantum computer could solve a problem that would take ridiculously long on even the strongest of modern supercomputers. In this case, roughly 10,000 years. Wow, that's pretty interesting, and let me tell you why. Back again to the late 1990s.
The leap second will be accounted for in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
When technology companies all around the world are building the software infrastructure of what we now call the Internet of Things. Back then, it was just the Internet. Anyhow, back then, people needed a secure way to communicate. And so the government allowed the public to use a form of encryption that had been around since the 1970s called RSA. Programmers all around the world assured the public that this encryption was 100% completely, undeniably secure. Well, almost. You see, during discussions about the possible pitfalls and benefits of releasing RSA to the public, it was somewhat quietly disclosed that modern supercomputers could indeed crack the RSA algorithm if they were given enough time, say 10,000 years or so. I think you guys could see where I'm going with this, right? A lot of people had concerns about using this algorithm and building a global intranet upon it if it wasn't entirely secure, which it clearly isn't. But according to the analysts, the programmers, and even the government, nobody had to worry, because RSA was secure, because it would take 10,000 years or so to crack a single encryption key. And so RSA was used in everything from emails, to text messages, to video games, and it's still used to this day. Only now, there are companies that physically have machines that have the capability to crack this code. And to me, that's quite alarming. And I wasn't the only one to make the correlation between the advances in quantum computing and the imminent threat to internet security. Because in the next part of the article, they ask, when quantum computers can factor large prime numbers, will that enable them to break RSA? So it seems there is some concern over the implications. And Peter answers, yes. But the first people who break RSA either are going to be the NSA, the US National Security Agency, or some other big organization. At first, these computers will be slow. If you have a computer that can only break, say, 1 RSA key per hour, anything that's not a high priority or a national security risk is not going to be broken. The NSA has much more important things to use their quantum computer on than reading your email. They'll be reading the Chinese ambassador's email. Sure, like the NSA doesn't want to read our emails. I think a guy named Edward Snowden might disagree with you on that one. But, you know, I get what you're saying here. RSA can no longer be considered totally secure, and it needs to be replaced with something that is. Anyhow, they go on to ask Peter if he thinks that there's a risk of us getting caught unprepared. He replies by saying, yes, there was an enormous amount of effort put into fixing the year 2000 bug. You'll need an enormous amount of effort to switch to post-quantum. If we wait around too long, it will be too late. And I'm glad that Peter referenced Y2K here, because I was kind of thinking the same thing. Y2K caused a global panic.
But now, the latest on the Millennium Bug with Peter and Philippa.
Indeed, and Gabby, we mustn't forget that with all this excitement going on, there are some very, very worried people all over the world. The Millennium Bug, has it struck or hasn't it? 35 minutes from now, we'll know what's happening in this country, what's happened over all the rest of the world. Those bugs are going to crawl all over our computers and make the planes fall out of the sky. Are they doing it or not? Well, now let's look at our bug watch.
Now, this is the latest government bulletin, and it says, bold letters, there have been no Millennium Bug problems reported today in the UK. But just to emphasize what you were saying before, they're also getting information from the embassies, British embassies all around the world. And if you go down the list, South Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, Manila, no sign from the embassies here. So either the bug is dead, or it's dormant, or perhaps, who knows, it was never there really in the first place.
Let's hope that the RSA issue is resolved in time to keep it from becoming another Y2K debacle. I guess time will tell. Anyhow, let's move along to our next topic, which is this news that the United Kingdom has lit up a rather unusual fusion reactor. Wow, cool. Let's see what that's all about. Over in the UK, they have been modifying existing fusion reactor technology with the hopes of making improvements that will optimize all modern fusion reactors around the world. Cool. This computer simulated image shows the core fusion process being held in place by magnetic fields. By manipulating these magnetic fields around the reaction, you can control the shape. In a traditional fusion reaction, this shape would most resemble a donut. In the experimental UK fusion reactor, they're trying to shape this reaction field to form more of a column or a cylinder shape. Now, if this technology is proven stable, the next step would be to form a completely spherical fusion reaction, thereby fully optimizing the fusion process. In theory, which is exactly what they plan to do over in the UK if everything goes according to plan. So let's give them all a big round of applause over there. They're doing great work that hopefully will benefit us all someday. I just gotta tell you guys, I find it extremely fascinating that researchers over in the UK expect to be able to fully contain and control a fusion reaction. It just never ceases to amaze me. We are literally harnessing the power of the sun. And who would have thought that changing a small thing like the shape of a tiny field inside of a fusion reactor would have such a profound effect? This truly is a remarkable discovery. And I'm telling you guys, I just can't wait to see where this technology leads us. And as I'm fond of saying, only time will tell. So for now, let's move along to our last topic, which was the recent sightings of a person operating a jetpack near the Los Angeles International Airport. Check out this news report from September.
The FAA and FBI are investigating a startling report of what they're calling an airspace intruder, a man wearing a jetpack. The FAA says 2 airline crews reported the close encounter Sunday night approaching Los Angeles International Airport. Chris Van Cleve is following the investigation for us. Chris, good morning to you. What do we know?
Well, good morning. Investigators are skeptical it was, in fact, a jetpack, but talk about a high-flying mystery in the skies over Los Angeles. Did 2 pilots really see a man with a jetpack at 3,000 feet?
Tower, American 1997. We just passed a guy in a jetpack.
Then another jetpack sighting moments later from a Southwest pilot.
Skywinter 960, we just saw the guy pass by us.
Jetpacks like this one from LA-based Jetpack Aviation are not common. Only a handful of companies in the world make them, and they are not commercially available. The company says their technology was not involved. Jetpack Aviation CEO confirmed to CBS News he has been in touch with the FAA about the technology, but says their aircraft does not have enough fuel to get a person to 3,000 feet and back to the ground safely. Adding, they are loud, so it seems unlikely no one on the ground would notice it taking off, flying, or landing. And then there's this from the air traffic controller.
JetBlue 23, use caution. Person in a jetpack reported 300 yards south of the LA final at about 3,000 feet.
JetBlue 23, we're heard, and we are definitely looking. Only in LA.
Only in LA for sure. Now, investigators do believe the pilots saw something. They're just not sure it was a jetpack. The fact that there is no video that surfaced from the ground also makes them skeptical. But just what it is remains a mystery. Gail?
All right. Thank you, Chris Van Cleve. I think it's interesting, guys. It remains a mystery if two pilots saw it. I could see if maybe one, but two pilots saw it.
Yeah. Why no one on the ground seeing it? That's the question.
I don't know. Can you imagine if you're sitting in your seat chilling and you look out the window and there's a guy
in a jetpack?
Be one of those things you think your eyes are deceiving you. But that's scary. That is very scary stuff.
Crazy. So it sounds like you got this jetpack being sighted by two different pilots on two different planes. And the sighting was taken seriously enough to warrant an investigation by both the Federal Aviation Administration and the FBI. Then you got a local company that makes jetpacks, and they say it's definitely not one of theirs. Theirs don't even have the capabilities to fly as high as this thing. So whose was it? What the heck? I don't know. But the fact that multiple pilots saw this jetpack tells me that there's definitely something flying around up there. So I wasn't too surprised when just a few weeks later, another sighting of a person operating a jetpack was reported over LAX. Check out this news report.
For the second time in the last few weeks, we're hearing about someone flying a jetpack in the sky near one of our busiest airports. A Boeing 777 reported an unidentified flying object soaring above Los Angeles yesterday afternoon.
We just saw the flying object like a flight suit just passing by 6,000.
A flying object, was it a UAV or was it a jetpack?
LAX Jetpack.
Chris Van Cleve joins us. Chris, what do we know about this latest incident?
Well, good morning. The high-altitude mystery continues. The FAA says a China Airlines crew from Taiwan reported what appeared to be a jetpack flying around 6,000 feet, about 7 miles from LAX yesterday. Other planes in the area did not spot the unknown object, but the FAA and FBI are investigating similar sightings near LAX in late August. There, two pilots on separate flights saw what they described as a person wearing a jetpack flying near their airliners. It's not clear what was actually seen or if there's any link between these incidents. Jetpacks are actually a real thing, but only a few companies make them. After the first reports, the CEO of Jetpack Aviation in LA told us it would be nearly impossible for someone to fly a jetpack thousands of feet up and get back down safely. They're also not commercially available, very expensive, and very noisy, so it's unlikely somebody could take off and land in densely populated Los Angeles and no one would see it. And of course, Iron Man zipping around LA would certainly light up social media. Gail?
Chris, thank you very much.
And so, again, this thing is spotted by multiple pilots, but this time it was confirmed to be at an altitude of about 6,000 feet. And I just gotta say this real quick. After the first encounter, I'm a little disturbed that they didn't put some kind of additional security around the airport, just to keep an eye or a lookout for this jetpack. I mean, this could be a huge security risk, and it is. The FAA and the FBI don't throw around terms like aerospace intruder very lightly. So why is this unauthorized jetpack being allowed to keep violating the airspace around LAX? I have no idea. It sure wouldn't be if I was running things. I'd have spotters and drones and triangulation vans all over the place looking for this joker, but that's me. And speaking about jokers, you guys know it wouldn't be long before some other joker would try to take advantage of this sighting by faking a video for YouTube. Check out these clips from the YouTube channel Airrick.
Over the past few months, there's been news everywhere claiming sightings of a guy in a jetpack near Los Angeles airport. Now, there's no photo evidence of this jetpack Iron Man guy, so using VFX, 3D modeling, and a little bit of luck, I'm going to convince the entire world that it was me all along. Now, why would we go do all of this? Well, over the past few years, as you guys know, the news has sort of just made us believe whatever they want us to believe. So we're gonna flip the script today and make the news believe what we want them to believe, right?
All right, step 1, make a 3D model of Eric's head. Step 2, make a 3D Iron Man suit. Step 3, film fake footage at the airport.
This guy.
Oh my God, dude! Ah! Step 4, grilled cheese sandwich. Step 5, pay a friend from my old film school to do this for me. Mark, we need this by tomorrow morning to post this video. Is there any way that you can stay up all night and do this?
Dude, I don't know, man. I got so much to do. Probably not.
What if I gave you $1,000?
All right, it is the next morning. The clip, the VFX 3D model, sauced up clip has been sent to us, and we're about to watch it for the first time. I'm kind of nervous.
What is that, dude? That's crazy,
Oh
right?
my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh.
That is freaking crazy.
It looks real, dude. It looks real, bro.
It looks so small and like sketchy looking.
It looks real. I believe that I rode a jetpack at LAX watching this.
What are we gonna do when people think this is real, bro?
We're gonna find out. Speaking of that, we need to post this on Reddit and try to convince people that this is real. So let's go ahead and post. Guy who has been reported flying near LAX with jetpack finally caught on video.
So I just checked my phone. We're at 2,700 upvotes right now.
And it is at 3,800 upvotes. It's at 8,000 upvotes.
12,000 upvotes right now.
This is freaking working, dude.
20,000 upvotes.
Number 1.
Oh my! It's the top result on the fucking subreddit, dude.
We are interested in setting up a meeting with you. Oh! Yo, the news wants an interview with you, so.
So how long have you been doing news for?
Like 15 years, long time.
Dude.
Spell your first and last name for us.
M-A-T-T-C-A-N-T-R-E-L-L.
How certain are you that it was a person on a jetpack?
I'm 100% certain it was a person on a jetpack.
I'm not sure if you're familiar, but there were 2 other sightings of a man on a jetpack right by LAX.
I did not know there were other sightings of this. If you think about it, when the airplane could come in for a landing and that guy could fly into a turbine or something and it could be like a catastrophic event.
Have a great night.
Thank you. Yeah, no problem, guys. 10 o'clock p.m.? Okay.
Remember, in late August, 2 separate pilots reported seeing what appeared to be a jetpack. This latest incident reported at roughly 6,000 feet. Airline's crew reported what appeared to be a person in a jetpack. This was around 1:45 p.m. Wednesday.
This whole thing went down at the LAX airport lookout.
Sky 5 shot video of the area where the flying object likely was. One thing for sure, a flying object that close to LAX could have devastating consequences.
I was literally terrified. A jet could hit that guy at like any second and cause a catastrophe.
If you get in their way and you're that small, they won't see you. You look like a little gnat.
Naaman says the jetpack community is tight-knit. He's not sure who could be behind this and what their motivation might be. Live at LAX, Kimberly Chang, KTLA 5 News.
Anyhow, Eric decided to pay someone to make a fairly convincing fake video and then post it on Reddit claiming that it was true. Once it hit Reddit, his video got a little traction and the local media finally caught on to it and contacted him for an interview. Well, I guess they should have vetted their sources, huh? Anyhow, I gotta tell you guys that I really don't approve of what Eric did, even though it is kind of funny. I kind of put it in the same category as faking UFO content for views. It's just not cool. I mean, people are out here trying to seriously figure out what's going on in these videos that we know are real. But there's always a few people who are just in it for the money and to capitalize on it for themselves. It's frustrating and it's hurtful for those of us who are legitimately trying to find the truth here, like you and me. Well, enough of all that. I've shared my opinions with you during this video, and I thank you for sticking around to hear them. I'd love to hear what you all think, so tell me in the comment section below. The subscribe button is right down there as well, so give it a click if you haven't already to get up-to-the-minute notifications when the next video comes out. As always, this has been Manny at Area 503, and I wish you all the best until we meet again. And I am out of here to continue my search for universal truth.